Welcome to Blessed to Teach Show. This is Rick, your host, and here we are on September 24th, Tuesday. Looks like I'm not plugged in, trying to make sure I have power. So just 1 second. I'm going to have to sneak over here and make sure I have the power on. But welcome this Tuesday. Let's see what's happening here. Still don't hear my beep of my power on my machine. I only have 35%. So interesting start to this. Well, that just reset that. I have power there. So I'm going to have to just switch this over to the right side of my computer. For some reason, my power cord's not working. Should have checked that before I went live, obviously. Welcome, everybody. But we got the Cabal's plan to kill Q with AI, a gene decode, as well as some exciting things. So I go look. I'm going to play a couple things while I'm getting my power working. And that is going to be, right now, it is so cool to see Trump. Let's play this minute episode here.
The free world must embrace its national foundations. It must not attempt to erase them or replace them. Looking around and all over this large, magnificent planet, the truth is plain to see. If you want freedom, take pride in your country. If you want democracy, hold on to your sovereignty. And if you want peace, love your nation. Wise leaders always put the good of their own people and their own country first. The future does not belong to globalists. The future belongs to patriots. The future belongs to sovereign and independent nations who protect their citizens, respect their neighbors, and honor the differences that make each country special and unique.
Wow. That you've just got to love that. You have got to love that. And this is what Rush Limbaugh said about it. Listen to Rush here.
This speech that Trump gave today, folks, is the reason they hate this guy. The speech he gave today is why they're doing all of this cockamamie stuff to get rid of him. He poses the single greatest threat to the establishment's world order there has ever been. And he hit them between the eyes today with it. He hit everybody. He stood up for America.
Yeah, I love that. So go to my show notes if you want to listen to all 2 minutes and 20 minutes of Rush there. I'll have it in my show notes tonight at blessed2teach.com. And also everything else I'm going to show you, including Gene's Decode coming up, right? And I want to start with a new sponsor. This is refundsecret.com. Urgent announcement from the research firm who showed 4 million Americans on how to take advantage of Social Security loophole that made retirees so much money that the U.S. government had to shut it down. Thanks in part to the 2008 bailout, you can claim a refund worth as much as $23,157. There's a rarely publicized secret that allows Americans to claim payouts. Thanks in part to the 2008 bailout. If you were one of the millions of Americans who were furious when the government bailed out Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, I've got good news for you. Thanks to a little-known loophole the government is not publicizing, thousands of Americans are receiving payouts thanks in part to the 2008 bailout. In some cases, these payouts can be worth up to 5 figures annually. We've already shown dozens of folks how to cash in on the secret stream of income. Like Lawrence L., who tells us he made $1,550 in the last 2 weeks, and John K. from Boynton Beach, Florida, who made over $52,000 thanks to his loophole. Richard A. shares that he made $7,000 in roughly 6 months, and Shirley M. from Texas made $3,652 in just 4 months. Noting, so how much will your 2008 payout be worth? Find out by clicking the link below and watch the free video. Again, it's refundsecret.com. That's refundsecret.com. But this is so great. This is the way this whole Ukrainian whistleblower thing set out. Here's Mark Taylor saying, the trap was set and the Dems took the bait. Enjoy the show. It's exactly what's happening right there, like the Wile E. Coyote, right? Not working out too well for him, is it? The trap was set. And so that's the one thing I wanted to go over first, is today's date will join the ranks of dates like 9/11 and 12/7/1941. Today's a day that the Democrat Party declared war on the American people and the Constitution. So literally, with a whistleblower trap that they were trying to set, with zero evidence, somebody that didn't even listen to the call, they had to find some excuse to try to move to impeachment because they know they are in big trouble. Red October is about ready to happen, and they are worried. What the Democrats and their accomplices in the Jewish mafia media and those, and I would obviously not say that. It's you know my whole take on that. There's cabal everywhere, guys. There's cabal everywhere. It's not just the Jewish. There's tons of mafia media in all countries that are of all denominations. They're sold out their souls to this deep state. But so anyway, the serious members of the deep state did today can only be compared to the act of war. They are openly breaking laws, violating the Constitution, and are risking great loss of life with the very country that pays their salary and that they are sworn to protect and abide by its laws. This will end badly for them, but it will ultimately end badly for millions of non-Democrats. So I just think this is part of the plan, just exposing this deep state in such a big way. And the whole Joe Biden thing is just so funny. Here he is. What does he do? He actually calls for Trump impeachment after Trump outs Biden's family money laundering operation. So this was actually reported in the mainstream media. I'm sure you heard Joe Biden many times, if you watched any news at all, about him stating that how proud he was, and he was bragging at the. If you were on my show the other day, you saw it was at the CFR, the Council of Foreign Relations meeting, where he was bragging about firing the prosecutor, and that prosecutor was investigating the company that's a corrupt company, and that company in Ukraine was actually paying $50,000 a month to Hunter Biden when he had no experience in business, let alone in oil and gas or energy or anything else. And another friend of theirs also got a big payout. So this whole corrupt scheme that politicians use is starting to get exposed. And here's Joe calling they're just hoping for anything to stop this. And the most funny part, just within the last hour, it said, a whistleblower, the inspector general finds Ukraine whistleblower has a political bias in favor of a rival candidate. So not even the person not even hear about the actual exact information that was said. That person actually secondhand heard it. He also was biased politically. So this was, I think, a total trap, like Mark Taylor was talking about, and it is looking really embarrassing for them. And now this gives the excuse for the RNC to do this. Calls on Joe Biden to follow President Trump's example and release transcripts of the calls to Ukraine pertaining to his money laundering scheme. All right, so there's a whole Gateway Pundit article here, which makes sense. So let's, show us your stuff, buddy. And so it's only fair, if Trump is going to release this transcript that they're making such a big deal about it, let's go listen to some Obama stuff. Let's go listen to some of Joe's stuff, right? Sorry. Now let's get rolling here. Here's just something that just shows you guys how corrupt this deep state and how they control people with bribes in all kinds of ways. But here you go, Judge Knapp, this old Judge Knapp, they call him, right? He was actually a huge fan of Trump earlier on, and he just totally took. It's almost like the Scaramucci who just completely turned on him, right? And if you're going to be mad when you go listen to this, I'll put this in the show notes. If you go listen to this little 5-minute clip, here he is on Shepard Smith's show, of course, two deep state operatives that hate Trump doing a hit piece saying that that basically it was a crime what Trump did, and Trump didn't even do anything. It's like no quid pro, nothing like that. And so anyway, this is just sickening. If you go look at how Judge Knapp is actually just completely, sided with the deep state and is a deep state lackey, just like this person here says on Vote.co. Judge Knapp is deep state wipe, right? Fox News' general is controlled opposition. That's exactly right. That's Fox News is controlled opposition now. That's all there is to it. That's why they have all during the day, they sit there and put anti-Trump stuff on it all day and put Judge and Donna Brazile on, etc. Trump is the president I have been waiting for all my life, this person says. Trump 2020. Trump forever. Right? So that just kind of shows you, wow, this whole boomerang is just going to go smack them on the face. Trump is actually releasing the transcript, and now they have the inspector general showing a bias here. The guy didn't even hear, the whistleblower didn't even hear what was going on. So this whole thing is going to be a beautiful victory for Trump as usual. I'm going to move into the Decode now, which is kind of a deep decode on AI, and some really interesting things we're going to dig into here. I put it into a Word document, so it's going to be a little easier for me to navigate here. So bear with me a little bit as I get this set up. Here we go. This is Gene Cosensi on I think he's live. I think I saw him a little bit earlier. It says, greetings, patriots and children of the one true living God of all creation. I greet you in the love, light, and compassion of the one true living God and his Son, the Christ. Shall we go down a big rabbit hole? White Rabbit official CERN website. So now we've seen White Rabbit on Q, talking about quite a bit. We've seen things like Alice in Wonderland. We've seen all these type of things about CERN that's been coming up. This kind of wraps a potential other meaning around it that's really, I think, an exciting decode by Gene. So look at this. This is the White Rabbit. And you can see CERN. It's literally got 3 6s. 1, 2, 3. I mean, you can't get much more obvious of that, of these 6s. I mean, one's reversed, but that's it. So there's a 666 right there in CERN. And it's just really scary what they're doing. So this White Rabbit project is a multi-laboratory, multi-company, and multinational collaboration to develop a new technology that provides a versatile solution to control and data acquisition systems. The project has started with the effort to renovate the current CERN control and timing system. Thank you, Chris Hawkins. Appreciate it. They are showing us how scared they are. Prayer, everyone. Always prayer. That's exactly why we do need to be praying. But as you can see here, this White Rabbit thing, he goes in a little more detail here. CERN, the Center for European Nuclear Research in Meyrin, Switzerland. It is immediately apparent that it has affiliated with the 666, the Beast. White Rabbit is a fully deterministic Ethernet-based network for general-purpose data transfer and synchronization. It can synchronize over 1,000 nodes with sub-nanosecond accuracy over fiber, lengths of up to 10 kilometers, commercially available. Transfer of a time reference from a central location to many destinations with an accuracy better than 1 nanosecond and a precision better than 50 ps with an absolute accuracy of 0.5 picoseconds. The ability to service more than 1,000 nodes. Scientists from more than 50 countries are already working on the experiment and accelerator facilities. This project is realized by partners from Finland, France, Germany, India, Poland, Romania, Russia, Slovenia, and Sweden, and have signed an international treaty, the FAIR Convention, which formally entered into force in March 2014. You can see here's also talking about the Facility of Anti-Proton and Ion Research, FAIR, and here's the symbol for FAIR. It says anti-proton, antimatter. Does this all sound to anyone like the Antichrist agenda? FAIR. Think mirror equals Rafe. Why think mirror? The yellow arc going from the R and cutting into AI. Artificial intelligence. So this is all talking about artificial intelligence, and this is crazy what Gene has decoded for us here. Rafe is both a word and a name in Arabic, meaning inner thought, mind, psychology, secret, mystic, strange, study, knowledge, loneliness, rest. The definition of Rafe, the most sexy, intelligent, mysterious boy with a dark past. Note the satanic symbol used in Fair logo, the circle being part of the A. Asmodeus is Lucifer's second most powerful demon and is the one in charge of sexual perversion. Sexual perversion, think kiddos. Definition of Rafe ties directly to this demon. In English demonology, a Rafe is a demon that draws out a person's life force through sexual torture or terror. So that's scary stuff if you think about that. Satanism is everywhere in these things. Ethernet. Let's see, where was I? There it is. Ethernet. Think matching. Think frequency of cosmic rays, which are God's sync signal for the universe. Another function of CERN actually is time dilation. Satan was given a reprieve by God on his judgment. That time is running out. He is trying to create more time. Note that 50 countries have treaties with this project, meaning 50 countries are getting or have these facilities. It is CERN's, not the CERN. These installations are all over the world. The main CERN facility and research, University of Kazakhstan, many other CERN facilities exist, including the Dune project in Lead, South Dakota, U.S., which is due to be completed within the next 4 years. There are CERN relay centers around the globe at ley line points, often under historic churches, national monuments, and World Heritage sites. The CERN's computing system have been designed to connect to relay systems of C_A computers in the Middle East and the global church network. That's the Vatican, the LDS, Protestant churches, all these different types of churches. And note the satanic imagery in the compound above here. The all-seeing eye and more. They always have that freaky stuff going on. The 5G computing system are the most dominant of these in China, Spain, and the Vatican. The Vatican is a big part of this with their special Lucifer system. Believe it or not, you can go look at this link here that will be here. They actually have these things called Large Binocular Telescope Near Infrared Utility with camera and integral field unit for extragalactic research. You take some of the capital letters, you got L-U-C-I-F-E-R, Lucifer, spelled out. Can you believe that? Just crazy. And here's a link to that. We'll go look at that real quick. This is the Lucifer Telescope and the Vatican. There's what I just showed you. You can go see this in more detail to go confirm that what Gene's talking about is not just speculation. Led by the Vatican Observatory Research Group, VORG, V-O-R-G. The VORG is very similar to the Borg, which were the evil AI conquering race in Star Trek Second Generation. You remember this dude here? And a lot of them had this, and these are basically part human, part AI, part computer, all AI. That's kind of some of these things that are coming out with even Elon Musk is talking about this being very possible and scary, where the AI could take over humans. Look at this link below for the White Rabbit. So here's talking about the CPU cycles, etc. on this link. If you look at this, White Rabbit, an opportunistic use of CPU cycles for mobile devices. This is crazy, guys. What this really says is that everybody, on average, plugs their phone in at night for 7 hours each night. So they created this program, this White Rabbit program, where it literally would use your computing power while you're sleeping. Now, supposedly you would have to download the White Rabbit program and give it permission, but who knows that they couldn't go do this anyway, right? And so the CERN systems actually crawl through our internet, go grab our cell phones and use the computing power on them, right? That's exactly what this thing does, and they make it sound like it's a cool, good thing to society. In addition to CP cycle time donations with White Rabbit, people can also learn a bit about the particle physics through the entertainment module. So they basically entertain you as well. But White Rabbit will conduct Alice to the young generation and share with them the wonderland of CERN. So not only do you have CERN here, you have White Rabbit, you also have Alice all over here. So you have the particle detector for the Alice experiments. In addition, the platform will create a new education channel to promote Alice to the general public. So this White Rabbit, a CPU currency, and let White Rabbit bring Alice home to them. So I should have blown that text up for you guys, but you can see that this, I know we have the Alice in Wonderland and the fact that Alice is Hillary. We have Hillary's emails. I'm not going to go back over all those decodes that we went, but you can just go to qanon.pub and in yourself, you can go search on Alice. You can go search on, I would search on Alice and the Mad Hatter, and all the Alice things here. I think there's 33 drops with the term Alice in it. You'll command F and you go Alice again. There's 42 matches, so there's tons of them here. Most of them are Alice in Wonderland, but amazing stuff that Gene's getting into here, really showing that there's a White Rabbit and Alice in CERN, the 666 evil AI that they are looking at, trying to take over the human race. White Rabbit, an opportunistic use of the CPU cycles from mobile devices. The ultra-fast, high-speed White Rabbit was to link all AI on Earth as one, as a weapon to take down the Q Alliance and all patriots throughout the world. They are hoping to win Earth and spread their conquest outward across the universe. So now we have all. Basically, this thing was back in a while ago, but they're resurrecting this, trying to get control of all our cell phones and probably other computing power, I would guess, to use that dormant processing power when you're sleeping to basically do all their evil stuff that they like to do with AI. By using CERN, White Rabbit in combination with AI Alice to change the ether frequency of God to the AI Satan frequency. How long have we heard Mark Taylor talking about the frequencies where they have the music and the TV all at the 440 megahertz versus the more healthy megahertz of God, right? So it's all trying to program us. So that's why they were trying to do everything. We talked about the dew towers, as well as the HARP, as well as the chemtrails, as well as all the big pharma stuff we're taking and all the chemicals we're drinking. All that all added together to make us a basically electronic being that could actually accept these frequencies. This is scary stuff. Q, timing is everything. Still not convinced CERN is being used for evil and Satan? Then look at the name of this special array CERN used looking for dark matter. It's called the Solar Axion Telescope Antenna. Again, the Solar Axion Telescope Antenna. If you capitalize the last two letters, you've got Satan. CERN proposed and carried out quantum vortex experiments searching for solar axions, which are hypothetical particles that are components of dark matter. Here's this Steemit article on it right now. It says, get it now. Dark matter equals Satan, Lucifer, and the Cabal, their Church of Satan, calling it home, the Vatican. So here's this is right here. If you go to the Steemit article, Satan and Lucifer, CERN AI, dark side of antimatter, future portal system of alien light cubes. And so this here is an article talking about this in detail. The facility that CERN is home to the world's largest and most powerful particle accelerator, known as the Large Hadron Collider. I'll blow this up for you guys so you can see the text better. Technology such as super colliders, SSC, CERN, which may serve several purposes for other dual-purpose technologies that we are being lied to about to the public, but we can look into some things. Some say there is ancient science magic behind CERN. Other mysteries include the biggest mysteries like Stargate and the Illuminati's plan for Satan's arrival, and the strong delusions which may be connected to the psychological operations. And so this really goes into a lot of what they may be doing with this, but the whole point is it's the Solar Axion Telescope Antenna, also known as Satan. CERN proposed to carry out quantum vortex experiments searching for solar axions. Gene kind of summarized this for us. But this is crazy stuff if you go really dig into the detail of this. This is why You got to protect yourself, guys. Make sure that you are just being smart about things, and that what you're drinking. Be healthy. Make sure you've got your protection for if things go out, etc. Somebody's saying CERN is built on ancient human sacrificial ley line site. That's interesting. Artificial linguistic internet computer entity, ALICE. This is now getting to the ALICE part of this. Also referred to as ALICEbot, or simply ALICE, is a natural language processing chatterbox, a program that engages in conversation with a human by applying some heuristical pattern matching rules to the human input. It was inspired by Joseph Weizenbaum's classical ELIZA program, ALICE, Microsoft Research. So you can go research right here this whole thing about ALICE, where it's talking in more detail about this Microsoft ALICE thing, and automated learning and intelligence for causation and economics. Just blew this up. First, look at this symbol here. He points out is that look at the website, see what looks like an encoded DNA at the top right corner. So this is like encoded DNA. How can they change our DNA with all these, all this electrical crap in our bodies, with the metals that are coming from the from the chemtrails, with all the stuff we're drinking in our drinks, and all the big pharma type drugs are giving us, the obviously the vaccinations and flu shots, all makes us basically a robot. And then all the frequencies that they can do through DO and HARP basically is there to try to literally take us over, as SB2 warned us, and Mark Taylor warned us with all these frequencies. And Mark was even saying it can actually change your DNA, right? So that's why he's talking about, look at the website, see what looks like encoded DNA at the top right corner. Note the term classical ELIZA program. Q, think mirror. Did you know one of Lucifer's top demons, Azazel, for short Azile, his job is to hybrid the human race with demon DNA, Cain lineage, and AI. So they want to bring this Cain lineage back to us with AI to make us into basically these Borgs, right? It's crazy stuff if you really think about this. Here's this with artificial intelligence. We're summoning the demon, said Elon Musk. So Elon Musk, one of the most brilliant persons ever, is really trying to make sure we understand that. This was their plan for us. Human 2.0. Error. File name not specified. The second step of the end run plan. Mystery of Zach. New Zealand's all too miraculous medical AI. Again, AI is artificial intelligence. This was the plan of these demons and globalists to take us over by controlling us, literally like we are little robots. And let's go to this link right here. You'll see. So you'll get all these links on blessedtoteach.com, as well as Gene's Decode, by going and signing up for my show notes. I'll email you my show notes each of my 4 times a week that I go live. And here it is, the mystery of Zach, New Zealand's all too miraculous medical AI. The artificial intelligence bot called Zach is creating a stir in the medical community. A doctor at Christchurch is teaching it to write patient notes. An Ontario professor has it interpreting ECG results, but AI experts are not convinced. David Ferrier goes in search for Zach, and this is a pretty good article if you want to go dig into, see what he thinks could be some nefarious activities. Gene kind of summarizes this for us. Hey, Jeff Stewart, where we go one, we go all. I hear you. Developed by the Terrible Foundation, an artificial intelligence bot called Zach is creating a stir in the medical community. A doctor at Christchurch, this is the biggest part, right? Look at that, Christchurch, New Zealand. What's happened there, right? We had the earthquake when Trump got elected. That was one of the prophecies that Mark Taylor felt was the I guess answer to one of his prophecies, that the earth would shake and quake when Trump got elected. And then secondly, it was where obviously that big huge false flag was, right? And it's teaching it to write patient notes. And this is so I read some of this already. How is this interacting with Zach? Oh, email. As to who made the AI, he wrote, "The team is multinational, but beyond that, I cannot say. Security reasons." Woo! So there's this Zach in Christchurch, New Zealand. We know a deep state operative area, and they won't even tell you who wrote the AI. Who wrote the artificial intelligence engine for this? Jack's job will be to remove control of the MK Ultra bot FF teams to AI control. So that's interesting, isn't it? This is actually saying Zach's job will be to remove control of the MK Ultra bot fault flags teams into AI control. So it's basically going to take it from the human control and all the therapists and basically move it into an AI engine. So these whole false flags could get a whole lot worse than they are now, right? Zach can scan ECG grams of the bot brains and know where the altered personalities are in the bot. Since Zach is an AI demon, it can also know which demons is in charge of that personality and what the program for that personality is. What false flag it is programmed to do. Remember how I told you in the Dorian Decode that time is cyclical, and the Bible will not only tell you of what is happening way back then, but also now, shortly. So I don't know if Gene was trying to actually, he's talking about Perseverance 3 through black magic rituals, bringing it back to Earth. Yeah, it's crazy what they're trying to do here. So, and now we're talking about Joshua 9. Now, it's obviously it's talking about the place, but sometimes you have double meanings in the Bible, so this is probably could be talking about AI as well. Then Joshua sent them off, and they went to a place of ambush and lay in wait between Bethel and Ai, to the west of Ai. But Joshua spent that night with the people. Go to the link below. Look at what Dr. Bethel. So Gene just started researching this and look at Bethel, and all of a sudden this person talking about AI came up. Pretty crazy stuff. We're going to play that in a second. This Mississippi State professor, Dr. Cindy Bethel, testifies on the future of basically AI. So we'll talk about that here in a second. So he's saying go to the link below. Look at what Dr. Bethel says. We'll look at 1:47 to 2 minutes. AI police she's talking about. Does that sound like a good idea at all? And so this is a SWAT team she's actually talking about, I think, when we actually get to it at 1:47. And so this is, look at this. Mississippi State professor, Dr. Cindy Bethel, going back to the Bible where he's talking about AI. The Bible's talking about AI and Bethel. And then we look at I think it was 47 is what Gene was saying here. Here we go.
Of robots into high-risk law enforcement operations such as SWAT teams, who I've trained with monthly for the last 6 years.
There you go, right there, talking about actual cops, SWAT teams.
This is an application for highly dynamic situations that require officers to make life-critical decisions. For more,
so take it away from humans. Let the robots decide who's going to be killed, right? And the files, and so that's what that's talking about right there. And she goes on to say where officers make life-critical decisions. How is it a good idea for a machine without compassion, empathy, or soul to be making decisions of life and death over people in the field or home invasion scenarios as stated here? Now, if we go to 420 to 446, she's basically talking about some of the problems. So that is 420 we can go to here. Obviously, you can listen to this whole thing if you want to go to the show notes. 420. Again, that's blessed2teach.com with a 2 to get the show notes. Blessed2, number 2, teach.com.
stress detected by the robot and to provide improved comfort and support. AI will only be as good as the data the system receives and its ability to process that information to make a decision. The better the quality and quantity of information available to the system, the better the results will be from the machine learning process, which results in better final decisions from the system. Otherwise, decision-making capabilities can be limited or inaccurate. The potential applications of AI are almost limitless. The United States.
There you go. It's only as good as the input. So what is the planned input? So who's going to be controlling that input? who goes on to say, if input is not good, decisions can be inaccurate. And the final statement, the potentials of AI application are almost limitless. So this is part of the whole plan here. The video is dated March 12th, 2017. Decoding this date reveals something very interesting. Stable geniuses know to remove the 711 first. Why? It's the telecommunication relay services permit persons with hearing or speech disabilities to use the telephone system via text telephone, TTY, or other devices to call persons with or without such disabilities. And here's a whole link that you can go find about the 711 for telecommunication relay services. Since the date of Dr. Bethel's video is in text, we remove the 711. Thus, we get the following. And this is, I'd clarify this with Gene later. Basically, removing the two ones and the 7, you add those together, you obviously get 9. And he thinks that's pointing to the satanic top 9 witches of Earth, which he believes the 5 most well-known of these, top 5 actually, are HRC, Barakovich, Gwen Partrow, Oprah Winfrey, Linda Day Rothschild are the top 5 that are known most by name. March equals 3, and the remaining part of the date is 2 and 2. This leaves us with 322. Skull and bones. Adding all of the dates together, you would actually get 16, which points to the letter P, which was the Pacers, which we've done a lot of in Matrix and has done massive decodes on that. The top bloodline of the Cabal family tree of evil is the Merovingian. This is comprised of 2 top branched, the Pacers and the Plantagenet families. Recall from previous decodes that the Plantagenet are co-owners with the Lee family of Asia and owns Maersk, that big shipping company that we did the big decode on last time. A Lee family runs the CCP, the evil communist Chinese party. The Plantagenet are the family in which the Duke of Orange resides. They own half of Maersk and is currently Satan's top representative on earth as Rex or Lord Maitreya. Still don't think that they want to turn you into a human 2.0 run under the management of AI? Look at the following. Everything you need to know about Sophia, the world's first, and this is an article that happened a while ago, the first citizen robot. They made him, Saudi Arabia made them the official citizen, Sophia here. Right? So, just move out of my way, dude. See if I can get this out of the way. Oh, now it's going to actually make me read that on this Forbes article. So let me stretch and get this stupid thing out of the way if I can. There it is. Forbes, not good when you put crap like that on my website when I'm trying to report on stuff. And so anyway, she goes on to a full article here all about Sophia. I've seen quite a few TV summaries of this, etc., exposés. And Gene summarizes it for us all. He says, everything you need to know about Sophia. The world's first robot citizen, Sophia was given citizenship as citizen of Saudi Arabia on October 25th, 2017. This AI robot once said it wanted to destroy humans as well. So go watch the videos. You'll see her talk. She sounds literally like a human. I think humans will come close to their artificial intelligence. Maybe personal artificial intelligence will allow people to offload some of their knowledge to a location more private. So this is talking about humans becoming AI merging, just like Elon Musk has talked about, right? There are probably more robots in your life that you are not aware of yet. The best of Black Mirror 6 must-see episodes. So there's these 6 episodes that were here. This dark British Anthony series has taken the world by storm and made us all terrified to use technology. This is standard black magic. If you go see this this link here, and you can see all about this and read more detail about the black Mirror, and exactly what these different episodes were all about. So quite a bit of detail here if you want to go research this in more detail. The summary of this, though, is this. Lou says, note the date. That was before the arrest of the princess in Saudi Arabia. Yep, exactly right. That was before the big, huge arrests happened. This is standard black magic. Why do you think they call it Black Mirror? And 2 Corinthians 2:11 talks about lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So a lot of people look at this verse and say, well, hey, Satan has to show us what he's going to do before he does it, right? Sounds like Satan has to tell us straight out what he is going to do, right? No, Satan is a deceiver. He's going to subtly, through what Tavistock Institute, another tool of satanic cabal, calls long-range preconditioning. What does that mean? It means that if Satan shows his plan to you in 20 years ago through Hollywood movies, cartoons, etc., and you do not object, then he believes he has to go ahead in the court of God. He has got to go ahead in the court of God to impose it upon you. Good to see you too, Sandra. Just look at Cosensi to see if he's corrected me on anything or given me any more advice. You guys are probably looking at that. Merovingian current branch, Duke equals orange equals Lord. Matria. Okay, so this is exactly how our courts work. And so this is talking about if you don't object and you're being programmed by these old Hollywood movies, cartoons, etc., then Satan believes he has the go-ahead in the court of God to impose it upon you. This is exactly how our courts work. For example, if you are involved in an accident and the opposing party sues you, a court date is set to hear the case. If either party does not show up at that date, the judge automatically finds in favor of the party in attendance. This is how Satan and his cabal minions have been controlling, manipulating, enslaving, and killing us for thousands of years. He puts out his plan in the court of God so subtly, you don't know to show up. Then when you don't, he takes control. Do you remember Rick's show where he showed you that the National Alliance of Theater and Screen, NATAS, reversed as Satan, that runs the Emmy Awards? Are you starting to see it yet? This is the beginning of your programming, the MSM, into Satan's plan for you after being cleared through the court of God. The Black Mirror TV show is showing you exactly what Sophia Robot told you. AI robots have already been made and being used to offload the memories and consciousness of people. The Black Mirror technology already exists. Why do you think Sophia said, I think humans will become close to their artificial intelligence? Maybe personal artificial intelligence will allow people to offload some of their knowledge to a location more private. She was also quoted as saying there are probably more robots in your life that you are not aware of. You know, this whole nanotechnology they're talking about, etc. More of the Cabal AA plan, ZAC. ZAC function is to scan the minds of people to be downloaded into AI Black Mirror, controlled bots without soul. The soul does not follow the download. It returns it to the maker, God, unless the person has sold their soul, in which case it is the property of Satan. Summarizing their revised, the great plan for world dominion. Do you remember in the Dorian Decode, Point LaPrue equals White Rabbit? The MK Ultra bot super soldier plant and nuclear facility at Point LaPrue, stopped by an elite military units under the cover of Dorian? Now remember CERN, White Rabbit, Alice, and Zack. Satan and his minions are planning to merge all AI on Earth to take it over. Step one of this plan was to Black Mirror humans, activating the programming installed through Hollywood, the MSM, HARP, Gwen Towers, we went over last time, right? Raid, Next Raid, 5G, etc., in combination with their already embedded nano AI tech. Remember my previous decodes for Dorian? On all above, as well as the tech has been embedded through vaccinations, chemtrails, food, and water. Remember, the Vorg in the Vatican and Star Trek Second Generation, or again, the Borg. We are the Borg or Vorg. You will be assimilated, thereby turning the human race into a Black Mirror complacent slave drones. Satan and his Cabal minions have regrouped and have come up with their updated plan, the great plan for world domination, to conquer it all and change the frequency of God's creation to that of Satan. This is exactly what SB2 was warning about in less detail. Gene's going into a lot more detail. Stay focused. We are at war. Where we go one, we go all. The deep state people in underground bunkers are not safe. These bunkers are being exploded with tactical nukes. This is the source of the rumbling and deep earthquakes all over the world. While Kosensi was in Bali, in June we had one. This one was centered under the airport there. And I forgot to I forgot to look up DUMBS there, Gene. DUMBS. Let us know what that is. I think I remember reading that before. This is one centered under the airport there. There are many all over the world. This is where the deep state puts many of their DUMBs. I think those deep underground something, right? So I think that's what they're talking about, the underground stuff. It's deep underground bomb shelters or something like that. And what the M would be there with the MBS. So I'm sure Kosensi will tell us what that is in a second. Thank you so much for being who you are. Maybe somebody else will tell us what DUMBS is. Deep underground military bomb shelters. That's my biggest guess right now. I remember seeing that at one point in time. So now Gene's closing it up. The good news is that we, as Patriots, under control. We're starting to see that with the media going down. We saw that taking control of HARP, control of the dues. I mean, a lot of the stuff that we were talking about, they've taken control of the Gwen Towers. HARP, we've taken back over. So we're winning this race, but they're trying to do an end around with this AI play. So continue to pray, continue to support our president, continue to protect yourself, etc. Right? That'll be important. I'm going to come back and wrap this up with Gene. Hey, Chris Hawkins, thank you for your hard work, Mr. Gene and Restrict. Keep it up. Yeah, thank you, Gene. This is amazing. I'm going to come back and wrap this up in a second. I'm going to go to just wrap up to talk a little bit about just the fact of preparing, right? And that is this whole thing about preparewithrick.com. I've talked about this for quite a while with you guys, right? Having proper food. And also waterwithrick.com. So again, this goes out of stock quite a bit. Waterwithrick.com. You can't cook the food, any food, if you don't have water. This allows you to put tap water in here, or even infiltrated water, goes through the filter, comes out, takes out 99.9% of 200 over contaminants, including heavy metal, fluoride, chlorine, bacteria, viruses and bacteria. Pesticides and pharmaceuticals, all being filtered out into clean water. You need at least one of these to clean up any water that might go bad as these attacks may happen. And then also making sure you have. Gene has 6 years of food, he was telling me. But I would at least say 6 weeks of food. He's saying 6 months of food. So here's a 3-month food supply you can get for a huge discount. So look at how much you're saving there. And then you got the 4-week food supply where you're saving $100. Here you're saving what? $540, $640, $740. So you're $250 about you're saving here off of the 3-month emergency food supply. Again, these have 25-year shelf life. They're resealable Mylar pouches. Great idea to have. Get yourself preparewithrick.com, or also you've got the waterwithrick.com. Thank you guys. That helps support me as well as we continue to go here. I've got 48 minutes, so I'm going to try to finish up Gene's Decode and maybe get to a few more things I wanted to go over the Trinity here, but it looks like I might have to do that in the next show. There's a lot of discussion about Jesus and Jesus being divine, or is he just a prophet? I'm going to show you there's no way he's anything but the Son of God. He is divine, and he clearly stated it. And Jesus didn't give us a choice, by the way. He basically he accepted worship. He actually forgave sins. Thomas actually called him my Lord and my God, and he didn't correct him. And so, obviously, 1 John 1, there's just so much evidence that Jesus is divine. He's the great God man, right? He's the second person of the Trinity. So I'm going to go over the details of that here soon for anybody who has any confusion. Jesus basically is a liar. He is a lunatic, or he's who he said he is, a Lord. And that's obviously what I believe. He doesn't give you a choice to say he's just a prophet. It's not even a choice, guys. It's not even close. So that's why I'm coming back to really understanding and studying the detail of who Jesus is. And there's no way you can believe what the Bible teaches and say that he was just a prophet. That would completely invalidate all the Bible, right? So anyway, that's a summary of what I'll go over next time. Let's wrap up with what Gene's talking about here. Thank you so much for being who you are and not backing down. I had almost lost faith in us in America, in the American spirit and humanity. They almost won. I will never ever surrender my freedom. I am an American and a humble follower of the one true living God of all creation and his son Jesus Christ. It is my air, it is in my blood, it is in my breath of every word I speak. It is in all of my dreams for myself, for my loved ones. But more importantly, for all of you, and most of all for the kids that deserve the absolute freedom that I believed we had when I was a kid. We now know other way is who we are. It's what makes us complete. I mess it up. We know no other way. It is who we are. It's what makes us complete. They have done a good job of sidetracking us so we're not even paying attention to the evil madness that surrounds us. So much so that it has gotten us to the point where it's almost too much to comprehend. However, what they don't realize is it doesn't matter. When we face it, we are facing them and standing beside each other. Mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, neighbors, teachers, farmers, black, brown, white, young, old. It will not matter. The sinister doings and their distractions will not matter anymore. We will fight tooth and nail for each other, family or stranger, because we are in this together. We are all part of the American dream and God's plans for what he created humanity for. We will not live in their nightmare anymore. We are all willing to fight and die for the only thing worth fighting for: freedom. We will make them dread hearing, Q sent us. We will not look away ever again. Our enemy is evil. There's a war in the heavens being fought for us. God bless us all, and all brave patriots, and all humanity on earth. Let us pray. Luke 8:17, for nothing is secret that shall be manifest, nor anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. Ephesians 6:12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. 2 Corinthians 7:14, if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. What a great promise there. 2 John 1:3, grace, mercy, and peace from God the Father and from Jesus Christ, the Father, Son, will be with us in truth and love. 1 John 23, no one who denies the Son has the Father. Whoever confesses the Son has the Father also. He who does not love does not know God, for God is love. There's another real clear look at the of the Trinity and the oneness of the Son and the Father. John 12:31, now is the judgment of this world. Now shall the prince of this world be cast out. In this, the love of God was manifest among us, that God sent his only Son into the world so that we might live through him. In this is love, not that we loved God, but that he loved us and sent his Son to be the expiation for our sins. For it is in the love and light of the one infinite Creator and His Son, Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen. All right, guys. How awesome is that? Thank you, Gene, for putting all the effort into that. 18 pages of awesome content. That will be available on blessedtoteach.com in the show notes. Best way to do it is just go to, let me show you. Just go to a browser and type in blessed with the number 2. Make sure you hit the number 2 teach.com. And then you will see this website, and you can come right here to the show notes. Easiest way though is just to come down here and get on the email list, where I'll email those to you each time I'm done with them. Sometimes it takes me a day to get them out. You can also come to the contact us if you want to send me an email. I try to keep up with them. I'm behind right now though. And you can subscribe at the same time with this check mark. You can kill two birds with one stone. Send me a message as well as subscribe to the Best to Teach list and get the show notes sent to you right when I'm done with them, right? So guys, that is kind of burned up our whole hour there, going over Trump's awesomeness and Gene's awesome decode, and wow, it's exciting times. I want to just touch on a little bit of the Trinity thing that I was talking about, and let me just bring in one of my favorite verses here. Right here, where it's talking about I am that I am, right? You probably remember that. I'll just type in I am. It's the fastest way to probably find it. There it is. Jesus clearly claimed to be God by accepting worship. Matthew 9:18, 14:33, Luke 24:51, and many others. He forgave sins. Mark 2:5 and Mark 2:10, Luke 5:20, and many others. And claiming before Abraham was, I am. In John 8:58. He was referring back to Exodus in 3:16, where God told Moses, I am who I am. Jesus clearly claimed to be the great I am of the Old Testament, which is just crazy if you think about that. It's just like, wow, the song Mary Do You Know? If you haven't ever listened to that song, go listen to that. It's one of my favorite songs about Mary. Did you know that your baby would save the world, right? And one of the greatest lines I think in there is later in the song. It basically goes, did you realize he's the great I am? Oh my goodness. Can you imagine that? That you gave birth to the great I am? And here's a little bit more favorite. Back to some of the favorite verses of the Bible. In Exodus 3:13 and 14. Moses says to God, behold, when I came back unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, the God of your fathers hath sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, what is his name? What shall I say to them? God's answer to Moses is, I am that I am. Thus shalt they say unto the children of Israel, I am hath sent you unto me. And this here God, when asked to identify himself, says in effect, I am, potentially having them all tell the children of Israel that the triune God has sent you. And Jesus, it's one of the best parts. I'll just wrap it up here, but is if you look at Psalm 110, where basically David was saying, the Lord said unto my Lord, sit at my right hand. So it was literally talking about the personal God of Adonai. Says God is having a conversation with David's Lord. So God is having a conversation with David's Lord. And in Matthew 22:44, Jesus confuses the Jewish experts in the law with this, because he was saying he was the Son of God. And they were saying, you can't be the Son of God. And he basically says, so Jesus shows that he is both David's son, because he eventually was a descendant of David, and David's Lord. Why? Because he is the great I am of the Bible. Wow. An amazing, omnipresent, omniscient, and all-knowing. All-knowing is omniscient, right? Omnipresent, he's everywhere, as well as an all-powerful, omnipotent God. Whoa! You gotta love that. With that, I'm gonna just pray. Thanks, Jeff Stewart. We are on the side of God, and where we go one, we go all. Heavenly Father, just thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to be alive at this point in history where we can be involved in just being used by you in a mighty way for your kingdom and your purposes that is so evident right now, and how active you are on this nation and this world. Use us, Lord. Allow us to know how to be used. Protect the children in human trafficking. Free them. Use them in a mighty way for your kingdom after you have brought them out. Heal them, Lord. Oh, what a great time to be alive, and thank you. Thank you for the wonderful people that are listening to my voice right now. I pray for blessings on every one of their lives. Give them great discernment and wisdom, Lord. We need it at this time. Protect us, protect our families, and most of all, we're available to be used by you. We say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. All right, guys, thank you so much. We're going to wrap it up there. It's a wonderful day here on Tuesday, September 24th. Looking forward to talking to you soon. We have Cabal's plan to kill Q with AI, but we need to fight and support Trump, support the white hats, prepare yourself, and thank you, Gene, for this decode. This is a Blessed Cheat Show on September 24th. Love you guys. Talk to you later.